Okay, I just made my Against Your Will, Against Your Rights video, and whammo, I get a comment here from Miss Clementine, which is 2 miles long. It's rare I see so much commenting on anything that I have produced, but it is extremely interesting, and I'm actually going to speak to this now. And this is Miss Clementine that was so kind to put this knowledge into my brain, and now I'm going to put this knowledge into your brain. So to the video here, which of course this comment of hers was deemed as spam, so I had to go in and approve it in order to be able to answer her on this comment. So she's starting out, and it's just, you gotta hold on here, because I got more than just what she's saying. I also got it from the source itself. But Miss Clementine says that, hey Henning, I believe the vaccines are getting prion-related illnesses from vaccines. Prion is here. Prion diseases are transmittable spongiform encephalopathies are a family of rare progressive neurodegenerative disorder that affects both humans and animals. They are distinguished by long incubation periods, characteristic spongiform changes associated with neural loss, and failure to induce inflammatory response. And this relates to Alzheimer's and dementia especially. So she's saying that I believe the vaccines were getting prions-related illnesses from vaccines, the bovine protein and other animal proteins. Yeah, I know for a fact that they are putting horse blood in our vaccines. I know for a fact that they are putting chicken eggshells in our vaccines. They are also putting monkey blood into our vaccines, and they are also putting in this bovine protein into our vaccines. Products in the vaccines that has no it should not be there, period, and vaccines should not at all be in existence at all, period. As I said in my video here, that we've been around for thousands of years and we're still here, and vaccines is a product and invention of the 20th century. So what about all the prior centuries that humans have been here and we're still around? Do we then need a vaccine containing products that is directly responsible for our demise, especially mentally, neurologically? And that's exactly what they want. As I said, they want us dead, pretty much all of us. So she's saying 20,000 birds die of starvation back in 2011. There was a documentary where they found sea lions, pelicans and sea turtles all sick with prion disease. Norway killed a whole herd of fawns that showed no signs of illness, tested positive of CWD, that is mad cow disease. And look, mad cow disease has not gone away. This needs to be public. We must outrage about what is happening. CVD, or cow mass disease, is BSE. BSE is, where did I find this one? I think that was the one. No, that's the, yeah, that's the BSE. Atypical bovine spongiform encephalopathy, transmission of Simultimus macaques, a non-human primate. And this is something that goes straight into your brain and straight into your nervous system and affecting it very negatively. An early onset of dementia. So Scrapicuro TSME. What was that one? That's SCJ, which is sporadic Creutzfeldt-Jacobs disease. And here we got. I mean, I need to put the links in here because this is big. This is enormous. It is a huge area to look into, and it is something that we need to look into. And I will suggest, if you have the means and know how to, and if you don't know how to, I will definitely help you getting this video I'm making right now and uploading. Download that, put it on your own channel, and spread it as far as wide as you possibly can. And I'm also going to try and get a hold of Rachel Nicole and see if I can make a radio interview with her, because she's got inside knowledge. She is very knowledgeable on this subject, and this is downright scary what I just read. I mean, this man just blew my mind. I did not know. I actually thought they got rid of the mad cow disease, but nope, it's still there. Oh yeah, it's still there, and I'm coming to that. The first sign of this was a form of our conquest of making the perfect wool, or I think she makes world, or wool. I don't know. What do you mean, wool or world? Wool? That's clothing. Okay, well, you just say wool because that's what it says here. Late 17th century. I bet my life the study we did find on Papua New Guinea was no more than a study to see how prions would react from mother to fetus, as well as surrounding clan. They traced the source to a hawk, made friends, and watched the storm unfold. This was in the 50s. It was across the seas about 1960s. Here is Rachel Nicole's article, and that's that article. Read, please, I beg of you. Pass this on to everyone you know. In the study done in California, all animals starve themselves, even with their favorite food surrounding them. This must get under control. Prions can last up to 20 years in the soil, cannot be burned out. They withstand temperatures over 1,000 degrees, freezing as well. Remember, Norway killed their whole herd. Prions can be uptaken by grass, roots like plants, alfalfa, corn, wheat, tomatoes. All can uptake prion. The prion bind the plant cell's walls, so they attach themselves and be ingested, and it's severely harmful. Every time I post about this, barely anyone sees this info. Well, YouTube unfortunately also have it in for me, because I had my prime time on YouTube in 2010 during the Gulf oil spill. Had nearly 1 million subscribers and several million views on my reportings on the Gulf oil spill, and it ended up with that YouTube decided to put a news on me and terminate my channel one after another under community violations that I did not make. I simply just stated the facts of what was going on out there. But of course, when you're up against Halliburton and you're up against the Bushes and the lying mainstream media, and Google, as we know now, has set the quest of conquering and buying up every single video platform network there is, such as they bought up YouTube. I think it was for $9 billion, and now Google, which is a tyrannical information site or search engine, if you like, search engine. Yeah, they come up with suggestions for what you can find. No, if I want to search something, I'm searching directly, and whatever suggestion they come up with here in the search bar, I couldn't care less, because they're not changing my mind on what I am searching for. But it's getting more and more difficult to get information out, because they're good at it. They're very good at it. So yeah, I don't, apparently, according to my statistics on my views, it seems like whatever production I make, maybe I get 200 views, maybe I get much more, and I don't know, because All they need to do is go in on my channel, which they are able to do, and then just change the outlook and say, okay, he only got 49 views on this video, and that will make him seem like he's unpopular, he's unknown, he is nothing, and so no one will take interest in whatever he has to say in order for me to give up and go away. Oh man, that rhymed. I'm good at that sometimes. And I'm not going away. Do you understand that, YouTube? Do you understand that, Google? I couldn't care less about you. I'm here to speak the truth. And I can assure you the truth will get out. And you will lose in the end. There's a lot of people that is tired of your tyranny and they're leaving you, Google. Do you understand that? And the more people that leaves, the less profit you make. Is it worth it? Of course it is. Because Washington is paying you for doing what you're doing, which is in principle illegal. You're also working for NSA. That's also a known fact. So we know who you are. You're just part of the problem, not the solution. And I'm not shutting up. So let's go on. Please, would you look this over? Read her data and start to Google the data on the information. Yeah, okay, yeah, I did that. See, this is on Google search. But that's because I'm searching directly. I'm not taking into account, as I said, for what suggestions that YouTube or Google comes up with. I don't care about your suggestions. I have my mind set on something, and I'm going to search on exactly that, no matter what you're trying. Your mind control don't work on me, and never will. I know who you are. I know my enemy, and that's you. Okay. She also says here, for the sake of your life, as well as your family, friends, and strangers you may never meet, please listen to Joe Rogan's show 1154. Well, that one I haven't had time to listen to, but I will definitely look it up. My husband was so humble after this show. I presented him all the data, everything that was said on the show. I discussed with him. He would not stop hunting until he listened to the show. He apologized to me. I was so grateful because I nailed the info and I needed that holy naughty language. You did a thorough job. I needed reassurance that this bad language again. I'm trying to not do that. If I use this kind of word and my wife is listening, she's looking at me with, you know, that kind of eyes. You did not say that in public, did you? Yeah, yeah, I did. Oh. So I'm trying not to do that the best I can. But sometimes, you know, gets the better of me because sometimes I just get bloody mad, okay? Because I'm really, really tired. I am mad as hell on this world and where the course of this world is going. That makes me upset. It does. Because it violates everything I stand for. Everything. This is not how I was brought up. This is not how my dad was disciplining me into become a selfish bastard. Not at all. And my mom always said to me, "Oh, Henning, don't take the world's troubles on your shoulders." I have to. Don't you see? If I just say, okay, yeah, I'm not going to do that, and everybody else is saying that, well, then we're really in trouble. We have to speak up. And we have to do it in unity. And you and I out there, we can defeat Google. I mean, these stupid videos about this stuff, who cares? I mean, who cares about this? This is irrelevant. World's sharpest carbon fiber knife, who cares? This is the stuff that Google or YouTube wants us to look at and waste our time on. These guys having trouble now on YouTube because this is firearms. Oh no, we cannot have firearms. Oh no, in the hands of good law-abiding citizens. No, we can't. Yeah, we can, because it's Second Amendment. And you dare try to take our guns, you will die trying. Those that follow Q, of course, their truth, but this is set up to be kept all busy to the whole point of causing many of us to argue and bicker about abortion, about presidents, our ladies, boys, transgender rights, blah blah blah, etc. All the flag of people getting in trouble. They are the fall for the greater good. And that's true. I mean, look how the left, I'm not saying that there's a difference between the Republicans and the Democrats in Washington. I believe that they are all in the same boat and they're all working for the same agenda. They just make themselves look good. In reality, I think they're all sitting in there in the Senate and the Congress when they have their meeting and drinking whiskey and smoking cigars, and once in a while they make a live presentation of something they're talking about, which is important. No. They freaking one big club and they're having a big freaking party in there every bloody day, and they're making fat cash on screwing you over. Because the end game is Georgia Guidestones. It is the population. It is destroying God's creation. End of story. And you can bitch to me about that all you want, and you will just pour more water on a goose. Because I know what I'm bloody talking about. They're one big club, and we are not members of it. And we will never be members of it. And we will be put down. Period. The Georgia Guidestones explicitly say what's going to happen. It is happening right now as we speak. Yeah, it is. Geoengineering, chemtrails, GMO food, vaccines, right? Polluted groundwater. It's out of control. No, it's not out of control. It is controlled extermination of the human species. God's creation. That is exactly what the devil wants. He wants us gone, all of us. Do you think the 500 million their end goal is? No. The end goal for the devil, Satan, is to destroy us all flesh, and then destroy the rest of the planet with it. That's his plan. He hopes he can win. He thinks he can win. And so does the fools in Washington and Google and YouTube, that they can win. They don't understand that God is in control. And he can put an end to all of them if he wants to. But he's saying that we have free will. And if they are questioning for this so badly, I'm going to bloody give it to them. And then they're going to eat, and then they're going to drink, and it's all going to turn bitter. It's going to taste sweet. Yeah. When it hits their stomach, it's going to turn bitter on them. Meaning that now they think they got the power. And when they finally got the power, God's wrath will strike upon them and destroy them all. None of you who is working for this system, unless you repent, will survive tribulation. You will all die, and you will all end in the pit, every single one of you. And I don't want that. I should never wish for anybody to go to hell. And I am praying for these evil people, because this is the only way to turn them around. And God also says, turn thee from your wicked ways, for why would you want to die? He is not going to brush it over and be like a parent in a home on planet Earth and say, okay, okay, here's a little house arrest and may you think about it. No. These people are threatening his creation, his promise, and literally pissing down his neck. Do you think he's going to let them go to heaven if they don't repent? Do you think they're going to get away with it unharmed? No. He's going to get so mad in the end that he's going to call upon the rocks to fall upon them and hide them from the wrath of our Lord who sits on the throne up high. That's how bad it's going to get. And they're all going to die. After their death, we don't know where they're going to end. Hitler might even be in heaven. We don't know. Call upon his name, and you shall be saved. Maybe Hitler did that. I don't know. We will never know. But maybe he's there. We can think bad about him now. But you know, the end is up to God. But down here right now, it's up to us. What are we going to put up with? That's the question. Now, let's get on with this, because this is lengthy. This is insane. Whew. Okay, as a reminder, guess what? CJD is catchy. CWD is catchy. You don't have to ingest the meats. I think she means meat, you know, meat. Any animal is chronically wasting disease that is urinate or defecate on or near any of the plants. You should actually be taking up the prions from the plants in every freaking source of our food right now. I could say the grass fed better, but I don't know. Fingers crossed the grasses are not contaminated. After the mad cow scare, our country as Americans now harvest cattle at age 4, so that we miss the signs of mad cow, aka BSE, aka TSE, aka FFI, aka chronic waste disease. Patients with CJD can actually have an eye exam and pass on prions to the next person that sits down and have the same exam, because they're touching the eye. There's bodily fluid right there. I know this seems a little odd and off topic, but some of these starving birds, that is number one sign, is prion disease. Please let me know if you can see this comment. I'll keep trying to educate. I hope others have moment to educate and soak in the severity of this situation. And please help Rachel, please help me, please help everyone know this information. Please, if you can have a channel, Rachel will be an interview of a lifetime. I am going to try and see if she wants to talk to me about this. I can only hope. I hope this can be seen, and I pray you read this. Please interview her, make it go viral. Once you ingest or are contaminated with these misfolded prions, you have 10 to 25 years to incubate and then show symptoms. Some are ill sooner via compromised immune system. Vaccines, right? Immune system. Vaccines are specifically designed to compromise your immune system. And your immune system is much more powerful than the vaccines that they're putting into you, but they are destroying your immune system. Did you know that 75% of your immune system is in your guts? The rest is in your thyroid. That's why iodine is extremely important for you. And I suggest you get iodine. Not that I'm, you know, the biggest fan of Alex Jones, but I have iodine 2X. I got several bottles of them, and I'm taking it because it's not in our food chain anymore naturally. It's taken out. It used to be in salt naturally, but they take it out. Why? Because they know if they take it out, they are slowing down our immune process in our system and make us less capable of fighting off diseases. And if they can put this stuff, all these different abbreviations of mad cow, atypical, bovine, prion, and sporadic Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, if they can get this stuff into our intestines by eating food, well, then they have swath two flies with one swat, because they have already compromised our immune system by the vaccines, plus iodine is not found naturally in food anymore, and they know that 75% of the immune functioning is in our intestines. So what could be better than to pollute and stifle our ability to fight off illnesses? Perfect genocide, unseen, and they can't be held accountable either. Smart, very smart. Okay, when cattle are taken out of their brain matter has been found in their lungs and the fluids taint the meat. Only one out of 200 are tested if they show signs of illness. Please help. One day around 20 years or less, we are going to witness a massive die-off of humans, and running to the hills doesn't help this. Exactly. And that's why I'm sometimes pissed off at humans. They are in the know. That's a lot of people that are in the know. And what do? They just keep their mouth shut, just, live. I mean, come on, listen here. In the Old Testament, I can't remember what scripture it is, but in the city, every city in the Jewish nation of Israel, their homeland, they put a guard on the wall, and he was standing watch. And this guard must blow the horn to warn the people of the city that the enemy is coming. And if he did not blow the horn, the blood of his people would be on his hands. Right? And if he blows the horn and warns his people, the blood of his people will not be on his hands. And that is exactly what is happening here. In our Western world, where we're so busy with our smartphones and Facebook and Heyday and you name it, all kinds of crap that is worthless. We are standing on the wall, and no one is blowing the trumpet to warn the people, and the people are dying like flies around us. And let me tell you something. The blood is on your hands, because you made a decision not to speak, not to warn. You are guilty as hell for what is happening to everybody else around you. And you can't say, oh, it's beyond my control. No, it's not beyond your control, because you knew about it, but you decided not to blow the horn. That makes you guilty of the blood of your fellow man. It's on your hands. Sounds harsh, but it's fact, and there's nothing you can say that can minimize that fact. You are guilty as charged for your brothers and sisters' death. Period. And that is what pisses me off in this world. This selfishness. Oh man, it makes me so mad. Well, what can I do? I can do my part and do the best I can, because I'm not going to shut up. Ain't happening. Well, and then she says, we're going to die a mass of humans, and running to the hills don't help. We must get control of our mass farming and harvest practices. Yeah. Sadly, the sci-fi of all this, that is that a time traveler actually brings up the prion problem and mad cow problem, John Titor, yet barely anyone points that out. I have seen 2 people point that out, yet I cannot get the data to them about prions. It's like my posts are ghosted, not there. That's exactly what I'm saying. As I said in my video, that Amazon is gonna ban anti-vax video.
The most famous Mayan city in the world.
And books regarding vaccines. That's the tyranny. eBay is probably going to follow suit. Maybe not, I don't know. But they're all going in the same problem. Time travel, I don't know about that. I don't believe in it. But it doesn't matter. It's not really the point of this. It's like my posts are ghosted, not there. Yeah, exactly. Your comment did not show here, Miss Clementine. I had to approve as not spam in order for everybody else to be able to see this. Isn't that beautiful? And maybe they can't even see it anyway. They just let me see it and give me the idea because I'm watching from my own login, my own platform. But maybe the rest of the people out there can't see your comment. I don't know. I will have to ask you people out there, can you see her comment on this video? Please answer me on that. Can you see it? Is it ghosted or is it there? Okay. Please study this unmeasurable in severity on what's happening under all our noses. You speak the truth, my brother, so very true. We are on the precipice of a communistic regime. True. That's what I'm saying. It's the future, communism, for a while. Okay. Why is it not scrolling? Oh, it is. Okay, so I said, of course, Screwtube deemed this lengthy comment as spam. They can't have the truth out. I read it all from you and Rachel Nicole. I'm appalled to say the least. I love sirloin steaks and ribs. I'm in serious danger by eating this sort of food. I should go 100% vegetarian, but it might just be too late in the game for that. I'm making a video right now on subject. Plus, if I can get Rachel online for an interview regarding this subject. I can't thank you enough for bringing this to my attention. God bless you, sister. Okay, now the lengthy one comes, the real lengthy ones, and I'm just going to read it, and if you don't understand it, well, maybe you should just listen to it again. Maybe it will sink in, I don't know, but this is freaking long. Making a little noise here. Getting a little closer. Okay, Rachel Nicole. Peer-reviewed studies supporting this post are found in the comments section. You will have to click View More Comments to see them. Feel free to grab them and share. Dad was a butcher for 47 years and died of non-genetic pleuritic CJD-MM1-2 caused by exposure to mad cow disease in 2015 on April 9th. Autopsy confirmed. He was only 66 years old and perfectly healthy. Did not smoke, drink, never ate deer or elk. He never butchered anything that wasn't USDA approved. My dad never traveled outside the United States, so we can't blame it on his travel. The only people who are to blame are the ones that supplied the beef that he was butchering for most of his career at Tyson Food. Oh, shit. I said it. Naughty word. Tyson Food. Oh, we are having someone who is a suspect there, right? The CDC, meaning the Center for Disease Control, didn't even check my dad's meat department for prion protein contamination from mad cow disease. You have never heard of this on the news. Lord knows they couldn't have news of a Birmingham, Alabama butcher of 47 years dying of mad cow disease right before they sign a deal to start exporting to China, right? Strange how the latest and the second of deceased cow found in Alabama 2017 was tested mad cow disease positive. That positive mad cow disease infected cow was at an auction not even 2 hours from the city my dad worked in. Had she been sold a month before she started having symptoms, a lot of people would have been eating full-blown mad cow disease because the US only tests less than 0.5% slaughters for human consumption. I checked it, and it seems strange to me that the Cattlemen's Association had its office by our Alabama Capitol Courthouse. Wonder why. It's nothing but a good old boy cover-up. Little guy suffers and big guy makes huge profit. Yeah, it's all about the money, unfortunately. But you know, Jesus also said that money is the root of all evil. So here we got evil. One of the many evils of this world. The USDA and CDC blatantly turn their heads. This is a word I don't see too much, so it's a little hard to pronounce. Obligingly? Yeah, okay. Did I do it right? I don't know. This has been going on for almost 5 decades. That's 50 years, people. Allowing untold amounts of tainted beef to be fed into an unsuspecting and innocent public at large. There are 6 subtypes of mad cow disease, or SJD, which was that the one? Wait a minute. HGD. I did see it somewhere. SJD. That is. Right there. Nasty. Okay. But that subtype was not genetic, or what some may call familial, which means his own proteins didn't just flip and turn bad one day because of his genetics. It wasn't caused because of dirty surgical instruments either. 85% of mad cow disease cases comes from unknown source or route. In my humble opinion, CJD that has caused by unknown source or route shouldn't be called sporadic CJD because it confuses a lot of people who do not have any better into thinking that SJD is genetic when it is not. Only a small fraction of SJD cases are genetic, 10 to 15%. The 3 strains of mad cow disease, LBSE, HBSE, and the famous CBSE that struck Europe. I remember that when I grew up. I mean, they were freaking dying all over the place. They had to freaking put them down and burn them on the spot. Couldn't move them around. They just simply had to burn them. It was horrible. And of course, food prices skyrocketed during that period, and it could have been prevented. CBSE in humans causes a variant of CJD in humans. LBSE and HBSE runs heretically in cattle and causes non-genetic SCGJ, which were this one over here, right there, Creutzfeldt-Jacobs disease. Where were we? Heretically in cattle and causes non-genetic SCJD in humans, and is also passed through tainted feed, grass, which is not safer because of this fact. CBSE, which is only found in spinal fluid, brain, and organ matter, can be avoided during butchering, so they say. LBSE is so dangerous that prion seeding is found in the lean muscle tissue, and I like, as I said, I like sirloin, and that's lean muscle tissue, unfortunately, so I might even have it. I don't know. That's scary. That's bloody scary. And I love meats. This is not good for me. I need to stop eating meat. Hopefully I don't have it. Maybe I can avoid it. I hope so. This means that your prime cut hamburger meat is full of it. Sirloin is. T-bone steak. What is it called? Filet mignon. The good meat. Damn. You will die 20 to 25 years after that fact. Japan tests 100% of their cattle, but US won't. It would only add an extra 10% per pound to make sure the meat on your shelf isn't infected with the smallest or most indestructible and deadliest disease pathogen known to man. That is a fact. Our lives aren't worth 10 cents extra per pound. You could cook your steak until it was a lump of charcoal, and it will still infect you. You could marinate your steak overnight in a mixture of Drano, formaldehyde, and Clorox, and the prion will still be able to infect you. This is indestructible. I am actually thinking, is this some... And this might sound a little weird to you. Is this something left behind from when the fallen angels came down? I don't know. Or Secure Team 10 might have said, well, maybe it's alien. There are no aliens, Secure Team, Mr. Tyler. There are fallen angels. And then there's the Watchers. And they live on the moon. The moon is artificial. The moon is hollow. And it's littered with structures on the surface. I have tried to convey that to you, and you're still not listening. You got no bloody clue of what's going on. I have some clue. But if I know it all, my brain will explode. Just like you see in Indiana Jones. I want to know it all. And then her brain is popped because you can't handle it. There are certain things I know. I just know. And I know there's no aliens. There are demons here on Earth. There are fallen angels out there. That's it. End of story. Stop using the word alien. Call them for what they are. Demons. Because that's what they are. In the Muslim world they're called jinns. They're known all over the world. These entities. And they're nothing but evil. And they want exactly the same end result as the devil. All of us dead. But first in misery and then dead. They want to see us suffer before we die. Okay. Known to man. That's a fact. Our life ain't worth 10% extra per pound. You could cook it, the charcoal and formaldehyde, Clorox, and the prion will still be able to infect you. That's the kind of pathogen we are talking about. When I say indestructible, that's exactly what I mean. Do you really think... come on. Use your brain here. That's the kind of pathogen we are talking about. When I say indestructible, that's exactly what I mean. Notice this. Do you think that God Almighty, who loves us so much, that he sent his only begotten Son, that whoever shall believe in him shall be saved, would put such a pathogen into our food chain? Come on. This can only come from one place only. Something that wants us harm. Okay? And guess what? The US government is working with these demons. Oh yeah. You got no bloody clue. but they are. Big time. They are the ones behind the curtain. It's not the banks. It's them. Your worst enemy. But you can defeat them. But it will require you to repent. Are you capable of that? It's pretty easy. Just let him into your heart. Done. And they cannot win. Okay, testing should be standard. Big CAFO, USDA, FDA, and CDC uses a 1913 law. 1913. That's a peculiar law. How the hell did that come into place at that exact year? When America went from the gold standard to the dollar bill. When President Wilson was deceived by Wagner and Rockefeller to go to the dollar standard, and thereby dooming this country, and that the banks, Rothschilds, Rockefeller, run the show. And he even said that in his farewell speech, that he has unwillingly ensured the end of the United States of America. Yeah. In 1913? That's pretty interesting. That is bloody freaking interesting. And what happened in 1914? World War I started. And what happened in that year? It was in that war, what was one of the main sources of warfare on the European battleground? Gas. Chemical warfare. You did not know that. But you know now. You have it from me. You heard it from me. Who says there was not pathogens in it too? I wonder. Could be. That's not impossible. For why would they already have the knowledge about this stuff in 1913? So why wouldn't it be able to weaponize this stuff in that period, in that time period? Oh yeah, I think they were able to do that, and I think they got some help from someone special to them, the demons. Okay, law. The Virus Serum Toxin Act, which states that only the inspection service can license the use of animal diagnostic test kits to keep from testing. So this is the USDA, FDA, and CDC's fault for allowing them to get away with it. Make no mistake about that fact. The cover-up has been done by them for the big CAFO, big pharma, big pharma again. I mean, that branch in our world needs to be cut off. End of story. That's my opinion. They are no good. You've seen all the medicine commercials there is on TV. Listen to all the side effects, what it may cause. It's horrific. I mean, you're freaking better off dead than die slowly and in agonizing death. Come on, man. Man, you really want to stay alive for that long and then suffer all the side effects? Wow. Good luck. I'm not taking it, and anybody put a needle in me, I'm going to find out where they live and I'm going to bust their kneecaps. Because then I know in the New World Order system they will be useless, because in the New World Order system, if you are a cripple, you will be put down, but it will not be by my hand. They will put you down. You evil doctor, putting that into children's arms, ruining their lives. How can you live with yourself? So you can get a charter cruise somewhere in the Caribbean with your family once a year for promoting these harmful chemicals to children? and pills and other medicines to adults? No, Big Pharma is not out to find cures, they're out to make customers. Simple. Big G, AG, that's the agricultural division. Well, they're bought and sold by Monsanto and Bayer. There you go. See? It's all evil. Every single aspect of it that is going on in Washington, D.C. is pure evil. Period. And, you know, that's where Second Amendment comes in. To protect yourself against them and those who obey their orders to go out and do their bidding. So they come to your door, lock and load. You got every right to do so, because you're standing up for your rights. Period. Okay, Toxin Act, which states that only the inspection license can use animal diagnostic test kits to keep from testing. So this is USDA's and FDA CDC's fault for allowing them to get away with it. Make no mistakes about that. I read that again for a fact, or on purpose. The cover-ups were done by them, by the big CAFO, Big Pharma, Big AG, and the animal product feed industry, because they have known that mad cow disease for decades. Your human vaccines made from the bovine protein cultures, tallow, pill fillers, gelatin doesn't even get tested for transmittable spongiform of encephalopathy. What I want to know is who sold their morals and for how much. Yeah. Ask the demons. They got the answer to that. 6 million Americans are diagnosed with Alzheimer's currently, and a study conducted by Yale Medical School determined that 13% of Alzheimer's patients who undergo autopsy after death, the only way to make an accurate diagnosis, end up being confirmed as sporadic Creutzfeldt-Jacobs disease, which is Alzheimer's. A new Alzheimer's case was diagnosed for every 68 seconds. That undeniably makes it an epidemic. It is an epidemic. It used to be only 6 out of, 10,000 people that ended up with Alzheimer's. Now we're up at a number that is 86. So you see, that is an explosion. And it's on the rise. And aluminum in the chemtrail is definitely helping on that problem, because that is giving Alzheimer's too, or dementia. So that's undeniably making it an epidemic. Nothing short of mass American genocide. Just for the perspective, 13% of 6 million is 780,000 lower. So that's a low ball number too. Scientists says it could be much higher. People who has coupled diagnosis of Alzheimer's or dementia along with Parkinson's disease need to have an autopsy, especially if it's a rapid onset. Demand a 13-3-3 test. Having a brain biopsy after death should be mandatory on all Alzheimer's, dementia and Parkinson's disease early and rapid onset victims. If someone you know have one of those diseases, they should be autopsized for the fact it will help scientists prove that the CAFO practices are causing the big majority of these human brain wasting diseases. There are only 2 hospitals in this country that will perform autopsy of suspected CJD patients. One is UAB in Birmingham, Alabama, and the other one is in Texas. Strange how both are federally funded. You get money and you shut up. Not saying that Texas is perfect, but it is the only America left. Until we get overrun by people from California. All the young stupid. The CAFO industry has greased the pockets of politicians for at least 50 years to keep regulations so low that we only test 40,000 heads of cattle per year, and those have to be downers that can no longer stand. After finding a 6-year-old cow in Florida this year, 2018, the USDA answer to the problem was to drop the number of 40,000 heads to only 20,000 heads. They used the USDA as a watchdog to cover up for these mad cow disease cases that find their way into our food chain. Video proof of this is in the comment section as well, but they always brag about it one or two before slaughter. Then they get it on the news, brag and pat themselves on the back on how they kept it out of human food chain. Did we just read that 100% of all cattle in Japan are being tested for this? And why are we not testing for that? We are only testing 13%. You see how much can get through there, slip through, and affect us, and kill us? This is genocide. This is Georgia Guidestones. They have known this shit since 1913. And they're lowering now the standard from 40,000 to 20,000. Are you not appalled by that? That's insane. They're lowering the safety. That's just crazy. They think the public is stupid. The way I see it, if you're only testing 20,000 out of 35.7 million slaughtered, and you're still finding positives, then that means the issue is a lot worse than they care to admit. There's no telling how many end up on our shelf because they are carriers. That's just haven't developed visible symptoms yet. Another thing, why didn't they bother telling US about a butcher of 47 years old that died from mad cow disease if they haven't been protecting the CAFO animal byproduct feed industry? They sure do jump to the chance of getting on TV and brag about finding one so they can bamboozle people into believing that the surveillance testing is adequate. It is far from adequate. 13% only is being tested, and they just lowered the friggin' standard by 20,000 less testings out of 35.7 million animals annually. Whoa. This is shocking. It would only cost $15 per head for mad cow disease testing of cattle. But the biggest industrial CAFO has lobbied so it doesn't become standard practice as it should be. Tyson, a couple of other big-time CAFO companies use the USDA's to fight the small cattle company to keep them from testing their own beef for mad cow disease. They are scared that if testing becomes the new standard, the American public will find out just how many mad cow disease infected cows we have been eating. It would be Europe all over again, but 10 times worse. It would take 10 to 20 years for the US beef industry to recover. Killing you without facing liability is a much better option in their eyes, because it's big money. Exactly, kill us. That's what they want, us dead. Cattle incubation disease are being slaughtered before they are old enough to show symptoms. They have an industry that can avoid liability. We slaughter our beef cattle at 18 to 13 months of age of our prime cuts. Then our dairy cattle are slaughtered for hamburger meat, and they are spent at 4 to 6 years of age. Mad cow disease, atypically strains, usually won't cause a cow visible symptoms until its 8 senior years old. The latest Florida cow 2018 was only 6 years old. Baby dairy cattle are raised on protein supplements derived from slaughterhouse waste. Organs, spine, and everything else not fit for human consumption goes into these powdered milk replacements and supplements. This is one of the atypical BSE, mad cow disease, is recycled back into the food chain. And as we just found out, that it doesn't matter if you dip it in formaldehyde or put it in Drano or cook it until it's charcoal, it will still exist and will still infect you. They also feed our cattle with this stuff called chicken litter. It's everything that hits the chicken house floor, including poop, feathers, dead chicken, spilled chicken feed. They grind it all of that crap up with cattle feed and feed it back into cattle, saving hundreds of millions of grains in cost, making our cattle cannibals and exposing them to AIDS non-productive cattle remains that are more than likely atypical mad cow disease positive. The vaccines they give cattle are also made of cattle. Of course it is. Bovine. They have known these practices by the L, the C, the H, mad cow disease to be recycled back into our food chains since 1978. Remember Cattlegate, the cattle's commodities scandal, and Hillary Clinton, that murderous bitch, happening in that's what I said, because she is a murderer. Happening in 78-79. I find it a bit odd that it happened after the meeting of the feasibility of carrying out epidemiological studies on Creutzfeldt-Jacobs disease 1978. The Scabies files in confidential SCJD report came out. The timing is hard to ignore if you are sitting in my seat. It seems the stock rise was timed perfectly with the vaccine mandates tripling in 1980. It is no shock that most of the vaccines damaging people and causing deaths are made from bovine protein cultures put into vaccines that we are putting into our children. And a child before its age of 6, that's something I know, they have received over 80 vaccines in one freaking syringe. They're mixing it all together and shoot it into your child's arm, and they just make fat money and look away, and they can't be held liable for what just happened to your child. Oh, it's just negative reaction. No. It's a direct poisoning of your child. Period. It is strange how Hillary and Tyson Foods are both based in Arkansas. Well, but it might hang together. Oh, but there's nothing here to see. It wasn't a payoff of anything. I'm only saying it's odd. It's also strange when Bill Clinton, the rapist, child molester, was in office, they stated running beef was what's for dinner. Advertising and creating loopholes in the feed ban on the whole time Euro was having them burn their cattle because of mad cow disease. When he left office, he pardoned a Tyson executive that had been caught and convicted for bribing the Secretary of Agriculture. Go figure. Let's not forget the Bush family. Oh, man, another family of child molesting history. They're pedophiles. Own a ranch. These people are responsible for a lot of sickness, death, and heartache for those of us who feel the grief of losing someone we love. So much of this disease. Once you start digging and find out this could have been prevented, But for corruption it is hard to maintain the rage and that builds up on you. This issue has been ignored by both Democrats and Republicans because they're freaking working together and drinking whiskey and smoking cigar in there. They are not bloody doing anything for you except for themselves and the rise of New World Order. They want you dead, and they couldn't give a crap about your death and your misery. They just want you out of the picture. $15 per head would have cost of mad cow disease, as much as a cow weighs. That pennies on the pound, which I'm almost positive the consumer wouldn't mind paying the bill for. I would not mind paying $1 more for my sirloin steak if I knew it was tested. Not a problem. Need to shut that off because it's loud. That's the heater. Okay. Might painful. Why not test unless the whole industry will be embarrassed by the number of LHC, mad cow disease, infected cows we have in our herds, and or how much prion contamination there is in the processing plants, slaughterhouses and meat departments. Are they afraid that we will have to feed the cattle 100% plant-based diet and animal byproduct feed industry will take a huge blow? Is the dairy industry scared that they will have to let a baby cow nurse off its mother, putting a huge dent in their profits? Yeah, of course. They don't want to lose money because their stockholders don't want to see red lines, red numbers on the yearly reports. Because then they're going to leave the company and the company is going to crumble because they're losing their stockholders. Oh, it's one big family and they just don't give a shit about you. They just want their bloody money and smoke their cigar and drink their whiskey. That's all they want. You die? Who cares? Who cares? They don't. Because their basic wish is you are dead. Period. I mean, there used to be a couple of thousands of meat-producing companies in America. Now we're down to 5. Because they all merged into one. Talk about monopoly. And it also makes it easier for the crooks to get away with what they're doing. Much easier. And there's no competition. Because according to Rockefeller, that evil bastard, competition is a sin in the eyes of New World Order. Because everybody thinks the same and feels the same. That's the idea. That's communism. Okay. This makes me mad as hell. Man, I'm mad. Like I stated before, killing us without facing liability is a much better option for them. I don't think the government should be the people in charge of the beef industry because to me it seems like conflict of interest when the government is holding the purse of the people that have paid for into Social Security all their lives, all their adult lives. This disease, a long incubation, could take 10 to 25 years to kill you. If the government is holding all your retirement money and they get to keep it if you drop dead, why would they be interested in writing law that would prevent this disease? Now you understand why the cattle industry has been allowed to get away with spreading this disease for so long. If I were you, the person reading this right now, I'll be asking myself if eating beef was worth my life, because that's exactly what's going to cost you, as the politicians and the cattle profiteers laugh all the way to the bank. What pisses me off is so bad is the fact that they have known they are killing people since 78. Not bloody known this since 1913, and they are continuing to do so. As far as I'm concerned, this is first-degree premeditated murder for profit. And what I'm saying, Second Amendment. When do you freaking have enough? Don't you understand why Second Amendment was put in? That was to protect you against these people. And look what they're doing to you. And they're getting away with it. Because America is not the sleeping giant. It's not going to wake up. It's too late. But this still needs to be addressed. There might be a small hope that some of you freaking fall off the branch you're sleeping on and hit your head so hard that you will wake up, snap out of your freaking daydream that everything is okay, and taking selfies is a waste of time and a waste of life, when something like this is far more important for all of us, not just you. Again, you were standing on the wall. Are you going to blow the horn and warn the people in the city that the enemy is coming? Or are you going to keep silent and be responsible for millions of innocent lives' death? The blood is on your hands, not the people behind you that you were supposed to protect. It will be on you. Can you live with that? I surely don't hope so. Blow the horn. God bless you.